Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife by ScrappyWife.com, and today we're going to go on a field trip to another one of my favorite stores. Let's go! All right, so a few weeks ago, I went on a hunt for organization materials at Michael's and at Hobby Lobby, and I kind of fell short, didn't find a lot of things. And so a lot of you said to come check out the Container Store. The Container Store is about 45 minutes from where I live, but I have made the trek out to the Container Store. I'm here right as it's about to open, so I thought we'd go through and kind of see what we can find. Let's do it. If you have a Container Store within driving distance, I have to recommend that you go and just check it out. Give yourself a couple of hours. This one is huge. I know there's some different sizes of Container Stores. This one is huge. It's just amazing. If you love organization, this is the place to come. Of course, I'm specifically looking for organization in a craft studio, but the Container Store can organize your whole house. I loved to see that they had canisters that there were the Container Store brand. I hadn't seen those the last time I was there, and I thought they were a little bit more reasonably priced than some of the other brands that are available. Something to know about the Container Store is yes, things are expensive here, but if it's the perfect solution for your space, then it's worth it. The Alpha storage system, currently on sale as of when I'm filming this, is really great for organizing a tight space. I like how they have the different sizes of drawers, the different styles of pullouts, the different ways to organize a whole wall system that could work really well in a small space, really maximizing your storage capabilities. I spent a lot of time in the kitchen section of the Container Store because really there's a ton of organization solutions over there that will work in all of the parts of your home. I really liked these divided bins. I liked how they had the different sizes and you could just keep things. Sometimes bins are so large, things get tossed about. So the fact that there was a divider within the bin seemed to work really well. And I liked that it had the little lip at the front where you could pull things out. Now this divider was attached, so that one didn't come out, but I will show you another one here in a second that can be removed. Really great for organizing a ton of different things in your space. Dividers always help. And then you have the iDesign, which is another one of the big Container Store brands. They have a lot of shallow containers available, which are really handy. This one looks like a container I used recently to organize my craft cart. So just think these containers can go within other larger things, which might seem counterproductive, but having the perfect teeny tiny container to keep something all together, all organized, that can really help your space. Sometimes as crafters, we have lots of little itty bitty things and they can easily get all mixed up. And so finding the shallow containers, the small containers, the ones that can still be functional for some of these smaller pieces in your craft space really work well. And I like the fact that these are systems that are designed to go together. So these sizes kind of work within and around each other. I always think the best bang for your buck is when things come in sets. So this particular set is a set of 4. They are pretty shallow bins. So my hope is they will work in my desk drawers at home. I did not pick up these under shelf baskets today, but I'm about to work on the storage in my craft closet. Look how these just attach straight to your shelf, provide an extra storage space. I think that utilizing shelves, especially if you have stationary shelves, utilizing pieces like this can help you get the most out of the storage that you already have, which is something I think the Container Store really excels in. You don't necessarily have to buy huge new storage pieces, huge new pieces of furniture. You can buy some functional bins, some functional just different organization systems that can help you maximize what is already in your space. You all know that I am a sucker for clear acrylic pieces. How cute is this spice jar rack? Any spice rack is actually very useful in a craft room because again, we have small things like paints and sprays and those are organized really well on those type of racks. The riser systems work really well. I actually use some in my cabinets to organize my distress oxide sprays. So continue to think outside the box when you're looking at your storage. Look at these. So these actually go onto cabinet doors or walls with command strips, and I think that that is genius. I don't need the extra storage on the inside of my cabinet doors yet. However, another thing that I'm going to keep in mind for the future. They obviously carry the home edit line at the Container Store. I prefer to get the home edit pieces that are at Walmart because they are much cheaper, but they do have some of the specialized pieces here that they don't have necessarily at Walmart, or at least not at the last time I checked. So you can get all the different types of storage bins. I happen to really like these drawer pieces. I think that is very functional, especially if you don't like bins stacking on top of each other. You have to move things around. A drawer is a good solution. All right, this clarity system is a whole stacking system meant for your vanity, for your makeup, for those types of supplies. But of course, I think that they are really functional for craft supplies, especially craft supplies that you might like to have out. There are some really nice drawers. Those are deeper than your average washi drawer, which I think is pretty handy, especially for ribbons and things like that. This would be wonderful for watercolor palettes instead of eyeshadow palettes, watercolor palettes. Yes, please. They just had really cool cube system setups. And again, the idea is that you could stack these together, that they're sized to work by moving them on top of each other, next to each other. You can design your whole system and it would be absolutely beautiful. Here are some of the specialty home edit items I was talking about. There are these expandable trays that go in your drawers that are at a tilt, so things are kind of tilted up, easier to see. Great way to store paints. And some smaller organizing bins designed for your vanity, your bathroom, things like that. Don't limit yourself to just a craft section or an office section. Rethink how you like to use your supplies. And yes, I do like to think of displaying my supplies even in drawers, on shelves, because that makes me more likely to grab them and use them. And what do you know? I spotted some Happy Planner organization labels out in the wild. The last time I saw these was Hobby Lobby, and then I haven't seen them for a while. So check them out at the Container Store. If the Container Store price tag is a little much for you, like it is for me at times, be sure to check out the clearance section because they definitely have one. I thought that was a pretty cool drawer organizer. And then they even had some clear acrylic pieces. I couldn't see anything wrong with this one. And it would be great for organizing some little jewelry. Love it. I feel like there is every possible size of bin and basket, size and style. You can find them here. And I think when you store things not only functionally but beautifully, it makes a big difference. Check out these shallow shoe boxes. How handy for putting things away. I'm always going to be a huge fan of clear storage because I think when you can see it, you're more likely to use it. This whole series of shoe boxes is made to work together. So of course, obviously designed for shoes, but because it comes in a variety of sizes, especially that shallow one, especially the kid-sized one, and this medium one, they're going to work really well in your craft space. And maybe you just collect them over time. I have talked about these before. These are drop front drawers. And actually, when you purchase a pack of 6, it is $60, which I don't think is too bad. It's a great way to store supplies and still be able to see them with the drop front. Close it up, protects it from dust, protects it from anything else that might be happening around in your craft studio, but then you can still see them. So I like kind of the added protection where everything is enclosed. Just a little moment of appreciation before we head into the next section. So pretty. All right, so the next containers I found were, I believe it's Fine or Fine. These are different storage boxes, and what I thought was pretty cool was many of them had wheels at the back. They're clear wheels, really small, low profile, and so they slide on and off the shelf really easily. That is something I hadn't really thought of before, but once you start to fill things up in different bins, they can get really heavy and be hard to slide. I liked how these all work together. Again, a variety of sizes. They span from $17, and I think it went down to like $8 or $9 for some of the smaller pieces. But I think a system like this would be great because it's easy to grab these in and out of your shelves, especially deeper shelves. Here's the Alpha system again, just another reminder that it's fabulous for setting up a smaller office space. It used to be all wired pieces. Now they have all of these beautiful wood finishes that you can choose to go around the wire basket, so it really looks like a nice setup. They have it in grays, they have it in wood tones, they have almost any look you could want, and it just creates a really functional space, especially in a smaller space. If you are trying to turn a corner of your dining room or a corner of your bedroom or a part of your guest room into a craft or creative place, something like this helps you take advantage of vertical space, always a plus. Did I mention that clear acrylic pieces will always have my heart? It'll always be what I gravitate towards in almost any space, but especially my craft space. Some of these are very nice, very thick acrylic, which is why they cost just a little bit more. This system is pretty cool because the turntable works with different pieces. Like you can stack different pieces within the turntable and then it still spins. That's pretty neat. You can find acrylic pieces elsewhere. Marshall's, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Target, almost anywhere. Some of them in the Container Store, A, are thicker, higher quality. B, are really specialized as far as the size, dimensions, depth of drawers, things like that. And so I would pick and choose which pieces you get from here. I happen to own this set of drawers. It's perfect for acrylograph pens. I love it. It can certainly be pricey. Clear acrylic pieces definitely can, but if you're picking and choosing just the right storage that you need, then perhaps you can grab a few from the Container Store. Is this not just a stationary lover's dream? Look at all of the pins and magnets. I feel like you could set up your own aesthetic on a pin board, on a cork board, on a magnet board, and kind of have it tell your personality. That is super cool. I was just talking with my patrons about the benefits of cycling projects, cycling supplies in and out of your craft area, and packing things up that you might not be using in a particular season, whether they are seasonal supplies or whether you just tend to do a certain craft at a certain time of year. Getting some of these tote boxes, getting some of these beautiful covered boxes are great ways to take supplies out of your craft room, but be able to rotate them back in as you're working throughout the year. Again, this is an organizing store, so of course they're going to have pens and markers and planners and notepads and post-its and rubber bands and every little thing you can imagine. Nothing here that I think you couldn't live without necessarily, but maybe you'll find just the right planner for you at the Container Store. How could I not stop and look at these beautiful rainbow bins? These are actually designed to work in the carts from the Container Store. So the Container Store has its own version of the 3-tier carts. You see them at Michael's, you see them at Hobby Lobby, you see them all the places. They have their own version. Keep in mind that their accessories are meant to work with their cart, so you can't necessarily pick these up to work with your Rascog cart or your Lexington cart, but they do work beautifully with the cart from the Container Store. There's all different sizes of bins, and I just couldn't pass up those rainbow ones. Those were absolutely gorgeous. You can really create a wonderful cart with items from the Container Store. Here are their carts. Of course, they look similar, but they're not exactly the same. Variety of colors, just like the other stores, not quite as many colors as the Lexington cart, for instance, but certainly a really functional 3-tier cart. And we all know how great these are in a craft room. I'm not sure how functional a round one is in a craft studio, but maybe it's functional in other places. Here is a large pegboard, again, very similar to some of the pegboards and things you can get at Michael's, but designed to work with these carts. You can tell we're getting into the office section. I was drawn to these portable slim project cases. They are just so much slimmer than your normal 12 by 12 project cases, which I thought were awesome. I have my doubts on whether they actually hold 12 by 12 paper because they looked so narrow. It says in the dimensions that it should, however, it just doesn't quite look long enough. I'm not sure why, kind of threw me off. All right, this was really cool. This system is made to not have to go into your walls, to not have to drill, not have to do any of that. It's called the Perch System. And what you do is it's a magnetic board that you attach to your wall with command strips and then these magnetic pieces attached to it. So cool for creating your own pegboard system. Look at the cute pouches. I love color. Color will get me every time on organization pieces like this. Like, those are just beautiful colors. That was a Marie Kondo system, these pouches are, and I think they'd be great for organizing paper pieces. I love these cabinets. These Bisley drawer units are something that I have wanted forever. They run about $120, so I have never pulled the trigger on one just because I just haven't. But I think they're so beautiful, so sturdy, and so perfect for a craft room. And speaking of perfect for a craft room, art bin cases. So the Container Store is one of the few places that I've seen art bin cases in person. Perhaps at Joann's you can find them. These are ideal for craft supplies, especially ones that you're packing away. Again, seasonally, like we've talked about before, being able to pull them in and out. That is fabulous. These are specifically designed for all of your craft supplies. And speaking of tiny office supplies, these little drawer containers, again, they kind of mimic the tool organizers that you can get for a garage, but they are beautiful and white and slim and great for an office studio. I actually have one from Home Depot that I used back in my classroom, and I've been using it in my craft room. However, I'm considering picking up some of these to change out what I have in my studio and see if I can make it work a little bit better for me. All right, I did wrap up in the Container Store. I did buy a big bag full of things that I will show you guys as I put them into my craft room. I could literally spend hours roaming that store, getting ideas. It is expensive. It's an expensive store to purchase from. I did have a coupon, which was awesome, 15% off of all of my regular price purchases. So that was a big saver. If you join their rewards program, then you get coupons periodically. So that's an excellent thing to do if you're thinking of shopping at the Container Store. But let's head home and let's put these things into my craft room and let's go. All right, I did pick up a few things from the Container Store. I'm not ready to put them in my room. My room is totally torn up right now because we are in the midst of construction and it's a little bit crazy, but let me show you what I purchased. So the first thing I picked up was this set. I am hoping that these are shallow enough to fit in the drawers in my craft table. So my craft table is where I film, and I have just a few things organized in some drawers for my craft table. And so I'm wanting to see if these will work. I like that it came in a set of 4, and I thought these would be really great. And I love a clear container. I really like a clear container. These have little feet on them, so I don't think they're going to wiggle around. That's another plus for me. I'm excited, so I'll let you know how those work out. So these are the Everything Organizer set. Pick that up. Then the next thing I picked up, I could not pass up. Did I need this? No. No, I did not. Did I pick it up? Yes, I did, because I love a good basket. I'm someone that loves a good basket, and this one, you guys, is a beautiful basket. I needed it to be mine. It is rainbow colored. It's the best. So I definitely picked this one up. This was a splurge, definitely not something I needed, but I thought it was unique. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it would go really well in my craft studio. And so it also came home with me. I'm sure it will find its way onto bookshelves in the closet area of my craft studio. So I'll let you know when I figure out where it's going to go. The other things that I picked up were these multi-stackable craft organizers. I have 2. They are organized differently, different size drawers. And this is going to go in my closet. I have an area where I've had like office supplies and things like that. It is really full. The container's not really working for me anymore. And so I thought these were nice. I love that they're white. Very easy to add labels here on the handles. And so I'm going to use these. I'm going to have them next to each other like so. I did want the variation in the drawers. I thought that would be really helpful. They also stack, which I thought was pretty neat. And I think that these are going to work really well in my space. So they're just really good for small little office things. Or if you have little small pieces, maybe you make jewelry, maybe you make charms, maybe, I don't know, maybe you work with just little tiny things, that I feel like these come in so handy. This size I think would be really good for ephemera because it has some bigger ones, and I like these really flat drawers. There's just a lot of options. I love things with lots of little drawers. It's just something I've liked since I was little. And so I wanted to pick these up to get a part of my closet a little bit reorganized. So thought I would pick those up while I was there. Was super glad that I had a coupon to get a little bit extra off. And it was always fun to visit. It's inspiring to see things at the Container Store. And so I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. Let me know what you thought of this little field trip. I'd love to hear from you. A huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Thank you all so much for your support. If you want to check out Patreon, there's a link for that in the description box down below. Otherwise, I hope that you all have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.